The professional development model that I have chosen to discuss is a professional learning community. While I have not previously implemented this strategy into my school, I am excited to give it a try. Prior to implementing a PLC at your school, it's important to understand the components that define it. First, it's centralized around a shared purpose, meaning all of the members of your team share a common goal. It's also built upon trust, where you're able to share your teaching practices and listen to others' ideas freely. It's used to enable educators to learn together and from one another. It stimulates collaboration as well as cooperation and promotes professional growth. Lastly, it encourages the sharing of expertise, knowledge, experiences, and best practices used in the classroom. The characteristics of a PLC are complex and diverse in nature. First, it requires interdependence among team members, where all team members will benefit if every member contributes adequately. It promotes individual accountability, where each member is expected to offer insights and suggestions. It values both cooperation and extensive collaboration. It's an ongoing process where colleagues are expected to interact with one another, sharing best practices. It involves heterogeneous grouping of teams, including both novice and expert teachers that share a variety of professional experience. And it's a reflection process that is ongoing and action-oriented, where results are analyzed and suggestions are brought forth for revision. Before beginning, it's important to understand the stages of a PLC. In stage 1, you want to develop politeness. This is where you establish trust and build a positive rapport with each member. In stage 2, you want to develop a focus. This is where you decide what is important to you, why it's important, as well as begin to develop a plan for the PLC. In step 3, this is a naturally occurring phase where conflict is inevitable, since each member has a different identity and different experiences within the classroom. It is important here to use resolution skills to work together to solve issues, and as long as each member remains open to the process, conflict can be resolved. In step 4, you are solidifying your results, meaning this is where collaboration takes place and you begin to understand one another, sharing strategies and discussing a path for the future. Step 5 involves performance. This is where the group is productive and efficient in achieving results. Here is a completed example of how a PLC would be implemented. I have chosen to focus on how 21st century technology can be used effectively in the classroom to enhance student performance in math. In stage 1, my team will work with one another to establish norms and protocols for each PLC meeting. We will learn how to trust one another through our commitment to improving student learning. In step 2, we will decide on our focus. Recently, our state math scores declined by 3% at our school. Therefore, we want to discuss ways in which we can integrate technology to improve student performance in this area. Since we each have different values and experiences in the classroom, naturally there will be conflict regarding what technological applications we deem most effective, but we will look to our resolution skills and PLC norms to come together to create a cohesive solution that works for each member. Next, we will solidify our plan. We will collaboratively share our successes and failures in regards to the apps we have used. As a group, we will decide which program we want to try to implement in order to improve student performance in math. Lastly, we will be productive by building lesson plans that integrate the technology applications we have decided upon as a group. We will also begin to collect data in which we will analyze results when we meet again as a PLC. To review, let's look at the objective of a PLC. The purpose is for educators to work collaboratively in an ongoing process to collectively discuss inquiry-based practices that are dedicated to student learning in the 21st century. In addition, it's to complete action research to achieve better results for the students that our teachers are serving. In addition, it's to continually develop instructional strategies that improve and enhance student learning. It's also used to improve the skills and knowledge of educators. Lastly, it's to gain expertise and experiences as well as learn about effective leadership skills that drive student achievement in a 21st century classroom. In summation, there are 4 pillars to keep in mind while integrating a PLC in your school. First, establish the mission. Think, why does the PLC even exist? Next, develop a vision. Think about what it is that you must accomplish in order to achieve your purpose. Third, identify your values. How must your group behave in order to accomplish your vision? And last but not least, propose your goals and think about how will you mark the progress of each goal. By taking into account each of these elements, you can ensure educators at your school will both be engaged and fulfilled professionally throughout the duration of the PLC.